Hello, this is Sham. Today we are going to discuss about the angular zone. Before discussing the angular zone, let's discuss what is the change detection in Angular is. You must have been very impressed with the Angular way of detecting the changes. You do any change in the classes and it is automatically propagated to the HTML file. So how does Angular do that? How does Angular detect that there is a change in the value of certain properties of a class? That's happen through the zone. Let's first look at JavaScript way of detecting the change. If you want to detect a change in JavaScript first, you will need to find out the ID of particular element in DOM, and then using the JavaScript you can call the old JavaScript methods such as set text or set element value whenever certain events happen, like the click event, or whenever you click on any button if you want to update uh, the value of particular element. Angular does this thing automatically, and for that it uses its zone. So what is zone? Zone is the zone zone is a way by which the Angular detect the changes. Zone is provided through a library. In zone in zone Angular basically zone provides the execution context for the data, and also it provides uh, a, monkey patching for the events. So whenever certain events occur, Angular detect whenever certain events are occurred, um, uh, it it knows that something would have changed, and in that case it runs the change detection. The events such as a button click or the micro events such as set timeout, Angular assumes that in that during this event the data would have changed, and start uh, it runs its change detection system, and if there is a change in data it updates it. So this has happened through the zone.js library. Angular uses that library. uh, Zone provide two things: the execution context, basically that keeps the value of the environment, or the value of the uh, that execution context, and also hooking the multiple events. So whenever such event happen, it uh, it uh, it sure knows that something would have changed, and it runs its change detection. So Angular also provide the ngZone service that is based on the zone library. In Angular ngZone service, two methods are provided: run and ngZone run outside the zone. So when we need the run is needed to detect the change if there are any library which because of which cannot detect the change automatically. If there is, and on that you want to detect the change, then those library or the call to that function needs to write under the run function. Once the run function execute, Angular runs its change detection system and detect the change if there is any change in the value. Similarly, there is the run outside zone method. For some event, you don't want to trigger the Angular change detection system again and again. Like uh, if there is any asynchronous operation, and that is happening, that is creating a lot of events, uh, and you are not interested in between state. So in that case you can use the function run outside the zone. You can execute that entire thing inside run outside zone, which will make sure that the Angular change detection is not executed, and you get a better performance. So if you are creating an Angular project using Angular CLI, uh, automatically the zone.library is included in polyfill files. You can also customize the zone settings to run it for particular event. Like you may not want to run the change direction when you're scrolling or when there is a mouse move. In that case, you can configure those parameters. Also, you can disable its complete zone system. Like you don't want any change direction by the Angular. In that case, you need you can use the loop function, and that will stop detecting the change. But in those cases, you need to make sure that you expressly call the change detection system. So that's it. That's it for the zone. Thank you.